talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game. Your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game.
Petty don't matter. Far as that teller, I pray to God they rat-a-tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I do apple. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should've been to prison. No boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I work a plan now. Can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player male. Say, what you talking? Talking that funky, dip about my face. Wearing that monkey. We not that. That might give you life advice. Get some money. 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 Get some money, 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 get some money. It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster, down a tall NASCAR. My solo knows that I am not a passer. I will not after any of you people blistered. I'm the man now, ain't I work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player male. Say, what you talking? Talking that funky, dip about my face. Wearing that monkey. We not that. That might give you life advice. Get some money, get some money, get some money. Get some money, 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 get some.
It's Madden NFL 23, and up next are the Texans' electric quarterback. He got his reps in a week ago, over 400 yards through the air. It's the Texans and the Ravens, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in week 1.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? This one fielded at the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And normally in this spot, we talk about passing numbers from last week, but this time, it's all about the rushing. 3 times he found the end zone in his last ball game. He is a do-everything quarterback, and you have to expect we'll see him call his own number here as well.
Now a man who played high school ball here in LaGrange, Texas, J.K. Dobbins. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson, man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. He'll take this to the 46. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Open man is Duvernay. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Texans, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! Devin Duvernay, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents. We've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
I think the hope was to let him sit and learn for a bit, but he was thrown right into the fire in week 1. Now we'll see what kind of lessons he's learned as he prepares for his second start in the NFL.
Let's go now. Ready.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce, and he'll get this up just shy of the 30. The numbers on the ground for Pierce last week: 23 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll leave him with a third and just a yard.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty, because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Right there. And Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. His guys getting the victory last week, and he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something similar to what you described, Brandon, because I saw a guy who looked the part, a guy who was in command, not just with the touchdown passes, but definitely.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Pierce. Oh, he sheds himself free. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. First and 10, it's Pierce. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Back to throw here. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he's going to get this down near the 25. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be fourth down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field.
Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Jackson on first down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, the gap man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 44-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They go play action now. Jackson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. That was third down.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
On third down, Jackson. He's got his tight end fan. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Ready.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Set. Put. Ready.
He'll look to throw. Open man right side, Myers. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30.
Here we
The
go.
Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They're going to look to throw. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. They'll look to throw here. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Room here to run. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Now they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Play action. Now Jackson. And the ball is knocked out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. after one, a 14-3 ball game. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Another run here with Dobbins. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Sort of interesting going with a draw play there. Do you like that call?
I don't, but it'd be a lot more powerful coming from me if I'd said it before the play actually happened, if I'd first guessed it. But look, a draw in that situation, heavy risk reward. If he walks in, it looks like a great call, doesn't it?
Yeah, instead brings up a tough 4th down. Now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Dobbins. Touchdown, Baltimore. So another touchdown for him on the year now, Charles. He had 2 in the opener last week and hits pay dirt for a 3rd time here.
And with good health, he's got a really good chance to be up there among the leaders in touchdowns scored when this season comes to an end. Quick question, partner. Is it bad luck to toast him with a sports drink?
Not at all, partner. I think that's a fantastic idea. Cheers. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, that discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here comes Peppers. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Jackson going to take off with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Ready?
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. To the right side and complete to Hurst.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he's got Hurst, his tight end.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So a roughing the passer penalty there, CD.
And we know that these pass rushers love to get after rookie quarterbacks, but they've still got to do it within the scope of the rules. And that time, the hit came just a little bit too late. And the official won't even think twice about pulling.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Dameon Pierce, his second rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Texans get a bit closer. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it makes the score 21-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Jackson going to take this himself.
Oh, what a move.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
8 yards to go on second down.
Here's the option play now to the left. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Jackson now.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
23 yards on the play.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Dobbins.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
On 2nd and goal, Jackson got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Houston set to take over. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
The Ravens and Lamar Jackson about ready to take over once more. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns and run for another already in this first half as his guys begin 1st and 10.
The drive will start with an option going left. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play. That's taken in by Duvernay.
The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it.
These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Ready, set.
Pierce takes it straight ahead, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
On is the punter, Johnston, now, as he sends this one away.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though. First play of the drive, excellent run, just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man, complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.